Dipping on some scissors. Dipping on some. This is for the bourbons and the Cadillac grills, Cadillac mills. Check out the oil my Cadillac spills.
Super hot when that thing starts. It's just like, Bourbons and Lax coming at you. Bourbons and Lax coming at you from Casa de Bobby.
Coral Castle.
Bringing it to you on a Wednesday, last day of the month.
Man.
If you're not in the business of selling stuff, you don't know anything about the last day of the month. Let me tell you.
But if you're in the business of selling stuff,
you're still at work.
You know all about
if you're in the
last
business
day of the month.
If you're in the business of selling stuff, you're probably still at work. You know, because some of these guys are still at work.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
there's some franchise guys are probably still there.
10:10.
Yeah, some of them close at like 9, and then they're still there.
Yeah, that's why I'm not a franchise guy. I have that shit.
Yeah, they're there till 4 a.m. So, real quick before we get going too far, let's thank the sponsor. Let's thank Wavespace Audio. They are down on I don't know, they're down here somewhere.
Wavespace.
Or the name down here. I don't know. They're bringing us the audio for the show.
Bringing us that good tunes.
Yep. And then let's shout out to the employer, Tradeline Motor Cars. We're still wearing our clothes from work.
We are.
We're still wearing the repping the trade line.
But hey, check it out. If you're looking for a great pre-owned car, with all the wonderful finance options, great prices with a no-hassle approach, hit up TradelineMotorcars.com. Let us help you out, man. That's what we do.
How are we sounding over there, Bob? Can we sound okay?
I think we sound good, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm saying on the replay. You're actually watching the replay. Can you hear us?
It's my...
Oh, I thought you had us up.
I have us up, but I can't hear. I can't hear because.
Motherfucker! Okay, I think I just fixed that.
Well, we're closed caption.
We're closed caption for the hearing impaired?
Yes. That way Helen Keller, well, she couldn't watch.
Are we
she
getting
couldn't watch it.
I guess my question is, are we getting audio?
BB's all in my business right now, for one thing.
My question is, are we getting audio?
I don't think BB's spending any time on the podcast.
Are people listening? Like, can you hear us? I'm very confused. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Anybody, can you not hear us? Can you click on the audio on there and see if people can hear us?
Let me see.
Like, is your audio on?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, okay. We were down for a minute, so I don't know.
No, we're good.
Okay, we're good. There might be dead silence at some point on the replay. It's all right.
I can hear us.
I can hear us too. But we're here.
I'm going to like us. Boom, I liked us.
You're going to like us, and you're going to share us, and you're going to tell everybody about us.
Right.
So, end of the month.
Yep.
Sales, car sales, whatever line of work. What, I think that's one of the big topics we were going to talk about tonight is what does it take? Like,
right.
Like, what does it take to do this?
So, I've put a lot of thought into this over the years and stuff, and people come up to me all the time. They approach me. They're like, "Hey, dude, you know," because people want to be successful, even if they haven't put themselves in any position at all to be so. They still want to be successful, right? So they'll come to me and they'll say, "Bob, you know, what is, you know, I think I can sell cars. What does it take for me to get in the car business? Or what does it take for me to become a car salesperson," right? And I think I've answered that question in a number of ways. But there's one thing you have to know about the car business and being successful in it, and that is that you better be ready to divorce yourselves from some time.
Pretty much.
Like, you're going to have to spend some time at work to sell cars and be successful at it.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of people tell me, "Oh, man, I can sell cars. I can totally sell cars." And within 30 seconds, I'm looking at them like, you could never sell one car, right? It just happens to be that thing that everybody likes to talk about. People love cars. Therefore, they think if they love cars, they could sell them.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not it. That's not what it's about. Because I really don't love cars.
No, neither do I.
I don't love cars. I can appreciate a car, appreciate a nice car. I'm like, hey, it's a nice car. I'll drive it. It's cool. But the truth is, I don't get much more happiness out of driving a Range Rover than I do like a Honda Accord. Like it doesn't, there's not that much variance for me of happiness between like one or the other. Do I like the Range Rover better? Yeah, I like it better. Do I like it that much better than the Honda Accord? No, not that much better.
See, I think that's what I was going to say is like I enjoy and I appreciate the variance, but do I want to drive it every day? Like, do I want a Corvette is fun to drive, but do I really want to sit in rush hour in a Corvette?
And get out of that motherfucker?
And get out of it? Do I want to go through the drive-through?
No.
Do I want to have to worry about door dings? Like, only hand washing this car? No. It's fun to drive.
Right.
But, you know, do I want to pay a $100 oil change and I can pay for a $20 oil change at Walmart in my Honda?
No, and the reason you don't is because you're really not that into it.
No.
But a lot of people are. In fact, most people are, I think. A lot of dudes are. People are into cars. So let's get back to the point. What does it take to make it in the car business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it's pretty easy to get into the car business. We don't really judge too hard about who we hire. You can come in with a criminal background, for instance, or wearing something that's not that flattering, or
You come in with a doctorate,
come with a doctorate.
you know?
You can be like, hey, I'm a failed attorney,
It's like,
and I want to sell some cars, right?
come on board.
And we'll say, come on, let's go. Let's try it out, right? Because the way it's set up, typically the dealership's not losing a little, but not a lot, by giving you a chance. You know what I mean? But what does it take to become a successful car person, right? What does it take to make it in the car business? Getting into the car business, I think you have to find a place that you can go to work at first. They'll let you come to work there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to figure out whether or not they have a tried and true sales process. If their sales process works, then you need to learn that process, right? The thing is that, to my knowledge, all the working sales processes, in other words, all the ones that work, are typically the same, right? People call them steps to the sale, sales process, whatever steps to selling a car. They call them different things, but it all comes down to the same kind of steps, And it probably comes down to a manager being able to help you through that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody to kind of walk you through that and help you learn it. And be patient enough to let you learn it, right? And so that's all I think it takes to get into the car business. Now, take over from here and go into your opinion on what it takes to make it in the car business.
Well, I mean, it takes a self-driven personality. It's you have to be driven. You have to want to succeed. You have to want to push yourself. You have to be able to look. We have a board at the dealership. We have a board that basically tells you, like, you have tally marks that show you how many deals you have, and you can visually see how you're producing compared to your coworkers. You have to be able to walk in there and see that board and be ashamed of yourself and be like, oh man, I'm at 4 and this dude's at 9.
Or proud of yourself.
Right. But you have to be able to go in there and like understand that, like wrap that around your head, that sometimes people, it's the kind of work where you're not really going to sit down and talk about your performance evaluations and all that. Your results are what is your performance. That's your performance evaluation.
Right.
Did you put enough X's on that board this month? Did you put in enough effort? And I think that's all self-motivation. And I tell people all the time that you can teach a lot of things to a lot of people, especially in sales. I can teach you a lot of nuances of how to sell, how to handle customers' rebuttals, but I can't teach you ambition. I can't teach you to have self-drive, to want to succeed, to want to win.
Yeah. I mean,
that's the biggest one in my opinion.
I totally agree. Like, So people who know my story, people who are close to me know my story, know that at one point in time, my back was as against the wall as it gets, right? And I needed to figure out a way to make a living and make money fast, right? I needed to figure out a way to make a living, make sure that I'm okay really quick, right? That wasn't that long ago. It was about 6 or 7 years ago. And I spoke with Justin about this tonight for a while, but I went into the car business. And it was becoming a good car salesman was one of the hardest things I've ever done, right? One of the hardest tests I've ever been through. I can remember just praying to God, God, please let me figure this out. Hang on a second. Allie. Hey, Allie.
What are we doing?
BB is killing me. She's killing me right now.
You just pick her up and put her on camera.
Come here, BB.
Let's show BB.
This is BB. She's my dog, and she's here. She wasn't here when I first started selling cars. I couldn't afford to have a dog.
But now she's here.
Yeah, she's here.
She got you when times were good.
Yep, she's here.
When times are bad, she'll leave you again.
She will leave me again.
Yep. What's up, BB?
Hi, BB.
She even can see me look at me in the eye now. She can look, we're making eye contact.
It's not easy to look you in the eye.
That's a really big
It's a
accomplishment.
big step. Yeah, it is. You've earned that, I guess.
I think at some point in time, I'm going to stay the night here, and BB's just going to end up like cuddling in bed with me, trying to murder me like she does you.
She'll be up there like, Serge, can I get in?
Yeah, like she
Can I come hang out with you?
Like when she tries to smother you in your sleep. I think she's going to get to that point with me.
She's a psychopath. But what I did was I worked for a guy who was and Dave Coast, forgive me for putting you out there like this. I worked for a guy that was a complete Nazi about the sales process. He held you to every single thing, didn't let you off the hook for anything. You always had to answer to him, and he kind of forged me into this really good car salesman, right? And that's how I started. Not that I agree necessarily with that management style, because I really don't.
Fire and brimstone?
Literally fire and brimstone. More like fire and handing your ass to you on a daily basis. It was tough, It was the toughest thing I've ever been through, but the result was I became successful, got on the right track, got on the right road, and I definitely learned how to sell a car.
See, I sold for, when did I start selling? I started sales in 2005, but I didn't start selling cars until about 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago. And when I first started, I didn't know if I could do it. And my general manager at the time, old sales guy named Gary Tedder. Gary's probably asleep right now. Shout out to Gary.
Gary.
Old Gary, country boy from Nacogdoches, Texas.
Come on now, Gary.
Old Gary told me, he goes, well, you're a sales guy. And people buy from
Do they even have people named Gary that aren't from the fucking country?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
But Gary, the thing Gary told me is, well, you're a sales guy and people buy from people. He goes, that's what it all comes down to. People buy from people. And if they like you, they'll buy from you. Hell, if they don't like you, they might buy from you. Just because you tell them the truth. Just because you hit them square in the eye. Country is some gun I ever met. But he told me that. And, even to this day, I still talk to him. I consider him a mentor. And he's always said that. That's his thing.
That was his deal?
Yeah, it's like people buy from people. And people will buy from you if they like you.
Well, Gary, I don't disagree with that. Here's, Justin and I were talking tonight about selling cars and, what it takes to do this, what it takes to do that. And so I think there's two types of car salespeople, right? I'm going to break it into two different pieces, right? Two different types. And it's, you can't get too exact on these, but one type is you come into an established dealership that gives you opportunities through leads.
Mm-hmm.
You come in and you kind of catch the deals that come your way, right? That's one thing, right?
Catch the up bus.
The up bus. The other thing is that you put deals together and you grind out deals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you do that, you also get the ones that come to you, right? And that's the difference to me between somebody that sells 10 cars a month and somebody that potentially could sell 15, 20, 25, 30 cars a month, right? And that, in our business, the income difference, depending on how you sell cars, between 8 or 10 cars and 15 to 25 cars can be thousands and thousands of dollars, right?
Yeah.
And so you become you either are able to put deals together and you're able to grind car deals out, or you just sit and wait for car deals to come around and happen, right? And the truth is that every successful dealership has a certain number of both of those. You don't always have, out of 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 guys, you don't always have all badass car salesmen who put everything together. You have a combination of everything, right?
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
I mean, me as a salesperson, the way I've always...
Fido, what's up, dog? Good job this month. You rocked it. You killed it. So happy for you. Good
Shout
job.
out to Fido. I think Fido's on your feed, not on mine.
No, he's not. How's that possible?
No, I think he's watching your share, not the post of the show. Shout out to Fido. Me as a salesperson, I've always said that I'm never going to be this guy. I'm not going to be that guy, but I'm never going to be this guy either. I'm always like here in the middle. I'm consistent. I'm consistently something. Sometimes I'll be competing for the top every now and then, but for the most part, I'm never competing at the bottom of the barrel. I'm never competing for last place. This month, different, but that's a whole different story. But I'm always consistent. I'm always going to push myself. I'm always going to try to push everybody. But that's what I think I bring to the table as a salesperson, is that I'm just like, okay, this guy's he's gonna have some slow times, but he's gonna figure out how to get himself out of that rut.
Well, I don't know much about. Don't be that guy, Serge. He's a duck. So here's what I know about you, Serge, is that you're a big grocer. Your deals make a lot of money, but I also know that you own a really nice house with a badass pool, so you can't be doing that bad at whatever you're doing. So
shout out to Myrna.
Myrna, what's up?
She's the one that
No, Dick, not Duck.
we don't have the cool house and the pool and all that without Myrna. So it's a team effort.
At the end of the day, making it in the car business, there's a lot of dedication, a lot of just giving up time that you could be spending with your family or other people that you love, because you're at that car dealership trying to put car deals together. And it's not rocket science. It's not. It's not, it's not. You're trying to sell some cars to some folks, right?
We're not trying to do open heart surgery.
No, we're not. Yeah, we're not.
We're trying to sell cars to people that can barely afford the car.
That's right.
We're trying to put some people in some wheels. You have two different kinds of customers. You have that customer that really just needs a set of wheels, and they're like, "Look, man, I'm not gonna be too proud to say like I'll roll in something that's below what I think I should be in." You got those people, which are few and far between. Like 12% of our customers are those people.
Right.
They're like, "I literally want anything," and then you get those customers that are like, "I want what I want." I want what I want, and I don't care. I know I don't deserve to have anything.
I want what I want.
I don't deserve a unicycle, let alone a Maserati.
Right.
But I want what I want.
But see, cars are funny because there is a huge percentage of the population that they attach what car they drive literally to who they are, right? Like in their mind, that makes them, right? Mm-hmm. It makes them who they are. It's so important to them. It's so important to them that they'll lie. They will fake income documents. They'll do whatever they can do. They want what they want. As Fido just texted,
I want what I want.
They want what they want, but the truth is that you can't always have what you want. In fact, most of the time you can't have what you want.
Right. But see, so if you buy a house, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will ever make.
Yes.
So buying a vehicle for many people, is the biggest purchase they're ever going to make.
If they're never going to buy a home, yes.
Yeah. So for a lot of people, they're never going to be homeowners for whatever reason.
Right,
They like to rent, or they just can't ever get to that status. So for some people, it is like that's their Rolex. You know, that's their gold standard. That's their like, oh, this is me stunting, me showing everybody what I got.
Stunting like my daddy.
Well, stunting like somebody.
All right.
So I kind of understand that, but at the same time, you have to start in tiers. You have to start somewhere, and you got
Can't go from a bus to a Beamer.
No, I mean you can, but it's if you go from a bus to a busted.
I wouldn't
Beamer,
want that Beamer.
You go from a bus to a busted Beamer.
A busted Beamer.
Bus to a busted Beamer.
That's right.
So
Beamer bus to a 09 328i convertible.
And if that one's not available in 2011,
is it available? It's not available, is it?
It's not available.
The greatest liner of all time.
Is this car still available?
At the end of the day, here's what you have to do to get in the car business. Apply for a job in the car business, right? That's how you get in. What you do after that is completely up to you. But I'm telling you right now, the days, and this is, so there are two schools of thought here, okay? The first school of thought is the old, what I call the old school thought process, right? Where you come in there and you're slick and you talk everybody into anything that you want, and you're just the smoothest talker in the world, and you can make all the money in the world just being a smooth talker. Then you go out and get drunk and you do blow all night with strippers, and you come back the next day, you do the same thing again, right? Like that's what everybody thinks a car salesman is, right? Because I think at some point maybe that was what it was, right?
By the way, I don't know many car salesmen that make that much money where they can just blow it on blow and strippers every night.
I mean, but that's the mystique that you know that's what you hear about or what people think. Mm-hmm. Or the more realistic version is what I believe, and that is that you get to that point and you're successful through hard work, and you absolutely marry yourself to the sales process, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and you do the same thing every time like a robot, except you're not robotic when you do it. But your process is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing every time. Same thing every time. You build rapport. You develop relationship with your customers early on. You make them like you. You gather information that's necessary to get to the sale, right? You do all these things, and at the end of that process, there's a sold car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I think selling cars is. And if that's all I think selling cars is, then anybody can do it. If they dedicate themselves to the process and to hard work, they can do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it takes all the talent out of it. Or a lot of it, right?
Right.
It takes a lot of the talent thing out of it. You just come in here, you do this, and you do it perfectly every time, you're going to sell cars and make money.
So we've been working together for over a year now.
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately. So here's my question: we've gone through a handful of sales
Did you say
guys.
Unfortunately,
No, you're just hearing things.
fucker.
So we've gone through a handful of sales guys that didn't last very long, and they fizzled out for one reason or another. Now, since we've worked together enough now to kind of have same wavelength here, when some of these guys started, did you figure out pretty quickly like this guy's not going to last? Like, were you? Because I tend to think I'm a good judge of character of that stuff. Because usually when somebody starts, I start thinking like, this guy might. I think he's going to do it, but then within like a day or two, I'm like, no, this guy's not going to be here. And most of the time, I've been right. There's only been one or two that didn't work out that I really thought would have worked out.
Yeah. So,
are you a pretty good? Do you think you have a pretty good gauge of knowing if somebody has not necessarily talent? Because I think they all have talent, but do they have that thing where you're like, okay, I think they can push themselves. I think they're self-motivated. I don't think I have to like, ride their ass. And
so so one thing that as a manager, one thing that I have to constantly get myself to do is to not just like almost immediately be like, fuck this, I'm out on this guy.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, people come in, because I remember how I was when I came in, and what I was unconfident. I was there early. I left late. I was that like, the guy that's there trying to sponge everything up
Yeah.
at all costs, right? And so when a guy comes in and he's like new and he comes in at 10:03 and he leaves at like 6:57, and like one day of that, the first day of that, and I'm just like, fuck this guy. That's honestly how I feel in my head. I'm like, fuck this guy. But I know that as a manager, I've got to like try to figure it out a little bit because we went through the entire trouble of hiring this fuck to come in here, right? But the truth is that if you're the kind of human being that takes a job as a car salesperson and you're 3 minutes late the first day, you're already out of there. You're done. It may not be then. It may take a month or 2 months, but you're already done, dude. There's no way that you can be like, I'm going to be successful today and wake up on your first day of work and show up 3 minutes late. You're better off being an hour early. If you're concerned about traffic or you live far away or you got kids to drop off or you got your grandma's got a weird fucking sweater you got to help her put on in the morning or whatever the fuck it is, like you need to do all that shit and be there an hour early if you're even concerned about being 3 minutes late, right? Because, and that's how people know you're serious. You know, it's the little things, right? Like, it's not hard to be on time to work.
It's the little things like coming in your first day with your mini fridge and your speaker system, and you bolt everything into your desk, and you basically have like planted your flag that like I'm here and I'm going to sell a shitload of cars.
But you know what though?
Shout out to Mike Rodriguez.
Oh, God damn it.
Rodriguez.
But you know what though? He was on time. He was on time. He was on time, and that's why he lasted for a few months. Because the dude was on time. Like I'm like getting there is half the battle, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, and I just can't. I still can't figure. I can't figure out. I've never been able to figure out. And guys, if you're listening to this now, or 10 years from now, or never, right? Anybody out there, please hear this. Getting there on time is half the battle. Or maybe more, right? It is a huge deal to show up to your place of work on time, okay? On time. And what does that mean? We open at 10 o'clock. Not a hard hour to get there on time to, right? Although you'd be surprised. But 10 o'clock we open up, right? Does that mean you show up at 10 o'clock? No, it means you show up at 9:55 at the latest, I guess, right? And you get it. If it's me, I'm there at 9:30, right?
Yeah.
But they're there at 9:55 at the latest, and you're at your station doing your job by 10 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
Making phone calls, sending an email, doing whatever. But you're at that station, you're set up and you're moving. You're in motion by 10 o'clock, right? That's the absolute barest minimum requirements in my mind to be successful.
Well, and that's the thing that Fito, one of our coworkers, has said countless times is that the only place he's ever worked at where most of the guys show up early is here, is Trade Line, where we actually just show up at, for the most part, like 9:30, we start trickling in, and usually the last guy's like 9:45. For the most part, the majority of us are there, ready to go. We're not. It's not 10:05, and we're still making a cup of coffee, and it's like we've already done all that.
I'm going to say something. I agree, and that's part of our culture, and that's a big part of, I think, why we're so successful and why we do as well as we do. But I'm going to say something else too. Okay, you've got issues, right? Everybody has issues. Every single person in this world has got emergencies, issues, problems, right? You better figure those problems out and get to work on time.
Yeah.
That's the way the world works, right? I'm not saying that a couple of 3 times every once in a while you can't be late with good forewarning. What I'm saying is, an establishment like ours, we rely on every single hand on deck. Everybody's got something they're doing. It's important to everybody, right? I mean, being there is important. Being on time is important. Being late on a consistent basis puts off a bad look for the rest of the people, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. You stand out like a sore thumb.
Leaving early.
And leaving early.
Or leaving on time. And really, it's in our line of work, it is another one of those things where if you leave on time, you're leaving too early. Because very rarely does the day end at close. Does it end at 7
Right
p.m.?
at 7 o'clock, right?
Very rarely.
There's something going on, something working. You leave at 7 o'clock, but you got 5 open leads.
Yeah, or you have cars parked outside, or
Stuff like that. Like that's not okay. It's not that it might not be okay with the company. The company might totally overlook it, right? It just shouldn't be okay for you.
Yeah.
With what you're trying to do, right? And so, you know, it's a crazy deal. And in my position, I'm constantly trying to improve everything with this. I'm constantly trying to improve myself, though, first, right? Like how do I lead by some example? So one thing that I'm never is late, right? I'm never late. I'm never late. I'm never, ever, ever, ever late. Now, true, I don't have any kids. I don't have that kind of stuff. I do have BB. She's a total pain in the ass, like right now.
Yeah. She's all
But I am on time every single day. I think I've been late to work in the 3 years plus that I've been there, maybe 2 or 3 times, right? I'm not bragging when I say that. I'm just saying it's important to me, right?
In my defense, I was going to be at work that one day. When I totaled my truck,
Yeah.
I was actually on pace to be on time.
Couldn't believe you were late.
That's like
4-car day.
yeah, that's sold 2 cars. And
For those of you who don't know, Sergio totaled a car on the way to work, showed up to work pretty much on time, and then sold 3 cars.
2
cars. So I said,
2.
hey, you had a 3-car day, a hat trick. Oh, no, because you totaled.
I totaled 2 cars.
Oh, right. Totaled 2
sold
cars.
2 cars.
Sold 2 cars.
And totaled 2 cars, yeah. And I still worked that day. You know?
Oh, a full day.
I worked a full day.
You did.
I think I had a concussion too, but you know. It's that level
I think you did too.
It's that level of commitment, yeah.
You were I think you were so grogged out by your head injury that like you just were like, man, what's up? Be doing to buy a car?
It made me a better car salesman.
Yeah. You didn't think too much. You're just like, hey, you want to buy a car? Cool.
Yeah,
Let's
I didn't
buy
think
a
about
car.
it. So
That's another good point.
Yeah, you just hit them straight between the eyes. So talking about the sales process, this conversation is getting really good. Here's something I really want to point out. I really want to talk about is when in writing, it's in bold writing.
Oh boy.
When a non-refundable deposit.
Hang on. Sensitive subject warning.
Sensitive subject warning.
Yeah.
When a non-refundable deposit means non-refundable deposit. What does non-refundable mean?
You're not getting your money back. That's what it means.
Yes. So you run into these, sometimes you run into these kids, or people, some adults too, sometimes they're kids, and they just want, you know, like they want a car, but they want to think about it, but they don't want anybody else to have it. So like, I'm willing to commit to it, but I'm going to come back tomorrow. Okay. You gonna leave me a deposit? Yeah. Okay. And you understand you're not going to get your money back? Yeah. And
we're going to pull the car off the market.
We're going to pull the car off the market.
For you.
Nobody else can buy it. No other avenue can it be sold.
No matter who comes and asks for it,
No.
they can't buy it. We're pulling off the market. It's your car. We've talked about all this stuff, all these particulars, right?
Yeah, we've ironed out everything.
All the details are
It's all
ironed
just
out.
a matter of, for whatever reason, you need a night.
But I want to put this money down to hold the car so that no one else in the world can get this car, right?
Yes.
This car's mine.
This car is my car. I'm just coming to pick it up later.
And hang on, being the customer. And you're sure you're going to hold it for me. You're not going to sell it to anybody else, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. And so nobody, no matter what happens, you're not going to sell to nobody else, right?
No.
Because I want what I want.
Yes, you're going to get this car, Mr. Customer.
And I ain't going to pay for what I don't want.
No. This is
Right?
This is your car, Mr.
This
Customer.
is my car, right? Okay.
And if for some reason, Mr. Customer, you change your mind,
It's on me?
it's on you.
Okay.
And I'm going to hold on to your deposit.
And so here's my money, right?
Here's my money.
There's my money.
What
do I get back? Do I get a receipt?
I'm gonna count this money in front of you.
Do I get a
and I'm gonna
receipt?
get you a receipt, and in writing at the very bottom, in
What does it say?
bold letters, non-refundable deposit.
Are you pointing that out to me?
Oh yeah,
There it is, non-refundable, right?
yeah.
All right, man. I'll see you tomorrow, later. All right.
Okay, let's knock it down.
Knock it down, dog.
So
All right.
let's fast forward 24 hours later.
All right. So can I be the customer?
Yeah, let's do
All right.
this.
24 hours later. Say, man, listen.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Customer?
Hey, man, I went home and
You here to
talked to
pick
my
up your car?
I went home, talked to my wife. Talked to my wife's wife, mother's kids, and baby's daughter, all those people. I talked to everybody. And man, they said this. Really, they said there's one across town that's cheaper. So I want my money back so I can get that car.
Okay, well, congratulations that you found one cheaper,
Right.
and you're saving money.
Right.
And guess what, man? You're gonna save $2,000 on that car. You're only saving $1,000 because I'm keeping $1,000.
Right. Why is that?
But you're
man?
still saving money.
Why can't I have my money back though?
Well, remember that paper that I gave you yesterday?
Right.
You gave me these $100 bills,
And here's the point.
and then I gave you the receipt back.
Here's the
and
point.
I told you nobody else could buy a car.
Here's the point. In the car business, the general consensus is that car people lie to their customers, correct?
Yes.
We lie to everybody. We're car people. We lie. We're always trying to outfox everybody. We lie, right? I'm going to tell you right now, customers lie way more than car salesmen do, okay?
Yes.
In every category, right? And when you put money down to hold a car overnight for a week, for a month, and they give you a non-refundable receipt, I want it to be unequivocally known. You're not getting that money back no matter what. And here's why. You shouldn't. A business has pulled a multi-$1,000 object off the market for you. Okay? And I know you're worried about your money because it's your money, right? But all money is important.
Mm-hmm.
All money is. And the dealership or any business that you give a deposit to for something, it's like earnest money on a house.
Yeah,
You're not getting that money back.
Yeah.
No, if you back out, if you give somebody a $5,000 earnest money to buy a house, and then you back out, trust me, that's free money to the lender.
Yeah.
Okay? Period. Not getting that money back. It's the same thing with cars. Same thing with anything else, right? So don't come in there talking about, I'm going to come up there. Well, come on up here. I'm gonna come up there then. Well, don't threaten me with a good time.
Well, I guess my whole thing is that you've agreed
I'm
to
gonna
it.
come up there.
It's in writing.
Right.
There's not an attorney in America that will defend you on that.
Nothing. I'm talking about if you put a deposit down on a car and there's nothing shady going on, you get a receipt that says non-refundable. The salesman's pointed out it's non-refundable. You know at that point this is your car. You just need time to come back and get things together to do it. If you come back and ask for a refund, you're not going to get it, right? You're not going to get it. You're not going to get your money back. If you put $1,000 deposit on that car became $1,000 better owned.
Yeah.
by the dealership, and that's just how that goes. I'm gonna come up there.
Do what?
Come on up here.
You gonna come up here and buy your car?
Come on up here.
Come up here and buy your car.
Come up here and buy your car. Please come up here. We're counting on you coming up here.
I mean, that's why you gave me $1,000.
You have to come up here, otherwise you can't get your car. I mean, you got to come up here. I'm gonna come up there then. How about that guy? How about the big old dude that talks to? Hey, that's me. I'm gonna come on up there. I'm gonna come on up there.
Okay.
I'm gonna come on up here.
Come on up here. Hopefully,
Come on up here, man. Yeah, man. I don't want any problems. I just, come up here and get your car.
Trying to sell you a car.
Yeah, dude.
The car you already said you wanted yesterday.
Yeah, the car we already agreed upon.
Yeah,
right?
the car you already bought. Yes, technically you already bought it.
The car that I pulled off the market for you.
Well, okay, so here's the thing.
Jack wagon.
So, okay, so like let's say, what's a good example? Okay, Macy's. Macy's has that store, the last chance stuff, or kind of like the name.
No, it's like Nordstrom Rack.
Yeah, it's like Nordstrom Rack. Okay,
Right.
so a lot of stuff like that, a lot of clearance places,
Right.
they clearly have it on their receipt. All sales are final. So if you buy that pair of jeans and that pair of jeans doesn't fit, you had a chance to try them on.
You get them jeans home. You're like, a little tight in the crotch. Want my money back?
They're like, no, sir, I'm sorry. The receipt clearly says that all sales are final.
You're not getting it.
And
back.
it's like, hey, there's a bullet hole in my jeans. Well, sir, did you look at that before you picked up the jeans? No, I just came by and picked them up real quick. Well, sir, that's not our problem. The receipt clearly says this, and that means that you as the consumer have made a wise choice to, one, purchase these jeans, and two, to know that you're purchasing from a place that doesn't accept returns.
Not only that, but you got these $200 pair of jeans for $47.
Yeah. So what's
Bullet hole and all.
What's the difference between that, going to a place and you get a receipt that says that it's all sales are final? What's the difference between that and leaving a non-refundable deposit?
There's no difference.
There is no difference.
There's no difference.
You went into it knowing it. And here's the thing. It's not a trick. Some people think, like you said, that car dealerships do shady stuff. It's not a trick. It's not like we took your money. and then we gave you a receipt, and then the receipt has like this really small print that nobody can read.
Right.
It's not on the back. It's not upside down. It's not inside out. We're not going to show you the folks what it's all about. You know, it's like right there at the bottom of the receipt, and like, you know, fonts like that big.
Right.
You can read it.
Non-refundable.
Non-refundable. And it's like, hey, when a customer says, hey, I want to leave a deposit. Okay, we're going to take your deposit. It's a non-refundable deposit. Just, you know, we're going to go ahead and do this. And okay, cool. And then when you give them their receipt, it's like, okay, non-refundable. Sometimes we'll even highlight it or circle it for them. And it's like, okay, cool.
Right. You do understand this is non-refundable, right? Yes, I do. But then afterwards, it's just like, you know, memory loss. So, no, that's a big deal in the car business. But here's what everyone out there in car buying world needs to know. Do not give a car dealer money without being completely sure that that's your car.
Yeah.
Because when you go to ask for it back, they're going to give you a hot dog.
Give them a hot dog.
You're going to eat a fucking hot dog that day. Yeah.
I mean, it's...
Yeah, I like this song. I like this. Yeah. Get that hot dog.
Oh, hold on. Here, I think it works tonight. Let me see if this...
Nice.
Yep, it works tonight. So,
I like that.
So, okay, Mr. Customer, whenever you give me...
Mixer's going hard.
When you give me your deposit.
Yeah.
Here's what's going on.
Bam! Yeah.
Hey, but whenever you come in and you say you want your money...
What happened then?
Let me see. I think it's this. Hey, I want my money back.
Can't have it back.
But I want what I want.
But hey, get the deposit. Yeah.
I don't know which one. I think this is the other one. Let's see. No.
It's Fido.
Hey, Fido, can you do this, bro?
That's a cool mixer. I love that thing.
When it works.
When it works. Mixer's got a mind of its own.
When it fully functions.
But hey, at this time, an hour, we've been going about an hour or
we've
a
been
little less.
About an hour.
But I'm about ready to
42
shut it
minutes.
down for the night myself.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think we're ready to shut it down. We wanted to. We said we were going to do this, so
Right.
we got to live up to our word. I have to go to work tomorrow. It's the first of the month. Bob gets the day off because it's his day off.
Hey.
It's his day off. But we'll be back. I'll be back at it tomorrow. TradeLineMotorcars.com.
TradeLineMotorcars.com. To all you people out there listening, we love you. Come shop with us. Buy cars with us. And to our sales team today, this includes Sergio, myself, every single person on our sales floor today. All you guys, way to go. Best closeout of a month I've ever been a part of. I'm not just saying that. I mean that. You guys really showed up. 99 cars. 99 cars in June.
99 cars in June.
Way to go, guys. See y'all next time.
All right, guys. Bourbons and Lax.
Over and out.
Later.